Hello and welcome to this late morning taste challenge. This is on Thursday, but it's going to count for Friday. I have two Kentucky straight bourbon whiskeys. One is expensive and one is cheap. Here's the cheap one. Henry McKenna Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, sour mash, established 1855, no age statement. There's a story about Henry McKenna on the back who immigrated from Ireland in 1837. Started a brewery, a distillery, and then they sold out to Heaven Hill at some point. They might have sold out to someone else and then it went under Heaven Hill, but it's under Heaven Hill today, and they don't even have a website listing for it. They have a website listing for the 10-year age, the small batch, but not for this one. We know it's aged at least 4 years, probably not a day longer, but we know that the price is right. $8.99. Total Wine has, I paid $8.99 at Majoria's, which is a local store in the river parishes of Louisiana. But I see that Total Wine has it right now for $9.49. You can get it cheaper per ounce if you buy the handle. If you buy the handle bottle, it averages out, it factors out to $8.14 a bottle. Cheap, right? And it's basically the cheapest bourbon whiskey you can buy in the United States in a practical sense. Here's one that is not cheap. I see people saying they pay $100 for it, $100. I can still get it if I get on the waiting list. And I'm not going to get on the waiting list for any bourbon. I'm going to tell you that right now, or any other whiskey for that matter. But you can get on the waiting list, and they'll call you eventually. It might take you 6 months. It'll be $59.99. So I got it for free. Thank you, Sonia. She gave this to me. But my friend David just bought a bottle last month, and it was $59 plus tax. Okay, so we're not paying $100 out here. All right, I don't know about your area. Now I don't have too much left, as you can see. Been sipping it down. Typical Sazerac bourbon, meaning Sazerac bourbons are not very well filtered. They're dirty looking. Like when you get to the bottom, you can see all kind of chunks and sediment in it. There's all kind of brown. It looks like sticks in there, like literally little sticks. Distilled and bottled by Blanton Distilling Company, Frankfort, Kentucky. In other words, Buffalo Trace. In other words, Sazerac. This was dumped on July 22nd, 2014 from barrel number 669. Warehouse H on Rick number 40, and it's bottled by hand at 93 proof. Oh, I forgot to put that in the notes. 93 proof. And this is 80 proof. So the Blantons is a good deal stronger. 93. And it was introduced in 1984, and they claim it was the first small batch, single barrel whiskey on the market. Mid 80s, that's around the time when people started putting out a lot of specialty products like Canadian Club 12-year aged, same year, Canadian Club 12-year aged. Now the Blantons single. Now in 1984, was it $60? No. Was it $50? No. Was it $40? No. It was probably more like $25. And even in today's money, it wasn't expensive. But then it became like this, oh, I got to go get my Blantons. Apparently, Pappy Van Winkle back in the 80s wasn't really too expensive. Now you can't even get it if you got the money. Okay. Time to roll. Time to roll. Now I'm going to do it right this time and not pour the wrong product in the wrong glass. So HM, Henry McKenna. Because early this morning I tasted it and I was like, I can't believe I got this wrong. And I redid it and I was like, oh no. I was too busy blabbing. Because the McKenna is good. Let's not be confused. It's fine, but it's very washed down in the flavor. In other words, it's very mild. If you want to say bland, doesn't have a whole lot of, it has flavor. So if somebody gets on here and makes a video talking about it's got no taste and all of this, That's just antics, all right? It has flavor. It doesn't have a whole lot, and it doesn't have a bold flavor. It's fine. For $8.99 or $9.49, 50 cents more, it's fine. I wouldn't go searching for it, but then, you know, it's just not the kind of thing anybody's going to search for. If you see it on the shelf, you might pick it up. Blanton's people go crazy for that, looking for it everywhere. This is the S. Each batch has a different horse and jockey with a different S, B, L, A, and N, a T, and O. You know, so they want to spell Blanton's to collect it. You say, well, that's just to get people to buy more. I know. Pure cork, pure cork. Just like, obviously, all the badges you can earn on Untappd are just bait to get you to participate in it. They're meaningless. But people, I see people posting on Facebook. I earned a Discovery Man's badge on Untappd. Big deal. You didn't earn anything. You know, you earn more if you're in the Boy Scouts or the Cub Scouts. But the whole purpose behind that is to get you to be engaged so that you'll look at ads. You say, well, that's like psychological manipulation. Yeah, I know. That's what it is. Okay. I'm a grand poobah on Beer Advocate, which is the top badge you can get, the top status. But so what? Okay, great. I did a lot of beer reviews on Beer Advocate. You can read them all. It's wonderful. I got it filled about the same. Well, you might not be able to see that on your end, but on my end, I can see that the McKenna is clear, highly filtered amber. And I can see that the Blanton's is milky, murky, not very well filtered orange or copper. And that is, I'm telling you, that is a Sazerac feature. You get it I don't care what bourbon you get from Sazerac. Go get Henry McKenna. Not Henry McKenna, that's Heaven Hill. What am I saying? McAfee's Benchmark Old Number 8, which is just a made-up name because it used to be called Benchmark Bourbon when Seagram's owned it. The Sazerac's trying to make it like a Jack Daniels type thing, Old Number 8. You know, blah, blah. Everybody calls it Benchmark anyway. Okay, you might even be able to find Benchmark for $7.99 a bottle. It's unlikely, but you might. But then get it and drink it down over a few months and get to the bottom 5%, and you're going to see it's going to be murky, dirty, unfiltered. And that's telling me Sazerac whiskeys are not as filtered as you might want. It doesn't bother me, but King of the Dot says, I'm culling the herd of bourbons I have spending on prepping instead. Prepping, yeah. That's what Gary's doing. He's prepping. All right. I'm prepping to go cut the grass. I already got all of the old grass and mud off the inside of the lawnmower. I used to spray them out every time I'd wash them, cut the grass, spray it with a hose. But I noticed the body would rot out and would rust. Sometimes it would just break apart. So I just let it dry, and then a week later, I scrape it off. Even if it's mud, which is wet, right? If it's mud, but it doesn't, it's not rusted through. So it's held up a lot better over the 18 years I've had the mower. 18 years. My first bourbon was Benchmark. Got bored. Yeah, no joke. It's a boring bourbon, but it's not a bad bourbon. See, boring does not mean bad. You say, well, I want excitement. I want action. When I buy a bourbon, I want it to be exciting and new. Yeah, well, then don't pay $7.99 or $9.99. Pay $89.99. I mean, because you know you're not going to get anything exciting. It's like, well, I want the best box of macaroni and cheese in the world. I want the best. Well, then why did you buy Food Club? Why did you buy Surefine? Why did you buy Best Choice? Because you know that's not going to be it. Craft Beer Tastic says, I used to wash my mower every time. Also, now I just use the air compressor just to blow off the grass and dirt. It gets muddy for me, so. But I've been doing this for at least 15 years, and I haven't had a body rust out yet in that period of time. When I used to get lawnmowers it would always be the same story. The body would deteriorate faster than the motor. Like the motor would always hold up. Now I had a Tecumseh, which means it would hold up and it would run, but you could never get it started. There was the only problem with Tecumseh, which thankfully went out of business. They stayed in business for 100 years making bad engines, but they had one little problem. They would not start. I mean, they would after 20 minutes of anger. You have to spray the starting fluid and everything, but you could get those things started. You were a real winner. Now, the Briggs and Stratton, you just make one pull. After you pump the primer, you make one pull. Boom, they always start right up. Boom. And that mower's still going strong. It would have died if I wouldn't have stopped using that ethanol gas. When I went to the pure gasoline, it saved its life. That ethanol gas was killing the mower. I will give it a good wash at the end of the mowing season. Still doing Ezra Brooks. In fact, my wife only likes Ezra Brooks. What Brooks? Stratton engine? Brooks Stratton? Yeah, Briggs and Stratton. Great story, says King of the Dots. Yeah, and it's a true story. Ezra Brooks. I've never had Ezra Brooks, but I bought some for somebody, 90 proof. I hear it's good. Not great, good. Not great, good. Not great, good. Is it on my to-buy list? Oh, yes. I was going to get Zachariah Harris, but I said, nah. I got too much doggone bourbon already. Even though that Zachariah Harris is only $8.99, I don't even care. I mean, enough's enough. Been my boss. All right. Wayne Franklin, I want to thank you for what you sent me. All right. Just smells like regular old bourbon if you want to get techno. A little pungent, a little sour mashy. Whoa. Well. Similar, weaker. Must be the McKenna. I think the McKenna has less aroma. We would hope, we would expect, when we pay the price, we would demand that the Blantons would be much better. We talking 93 proof versus 80. We talking $60 versus $9. Nah. But it is a blind taste test, and I do intend to be honest. So let's hope for the best. That's got to be the Blanton. It's got much more elaborate aroma. But you can fool yourself like sticks, and you don't believe it. But you are fooling yourself. Let's go. I'm not a renegade who had it made. It wasn't retrieved for a bounty. Tastes like bourbon. It tastes like musty old furniture. It tastes like a dusty old warehouse. It tastes like 93 proof. It tastes strong. It tastes, I would not say complex though. I was taking a tour, up there in Kentucky and Tennessee. Took a tour in Tennessee, one tour in Tennessee, and 2 in Kentucky. And somebody, or it could have been myself, I can't remember, asked the question, what makes single barrel so special? I think the Jack Daniels tour was, and the guy says, special? Well, they just grab a barrel and that's single barrel. Like, they don't necessarily say this is the best barrel or this barrel is wonderful relative to the other 25 barrels we looked at. It's just they grabbed a single barrel and bottled it. He said, now, do you think that makes it better? You think about that for a minute. And there is Jack Daniel's single barrel whiskeys. People say, well, what about regular Jack Daniel's? Oh, it's a blend of barrels. They take various barrels And they blending them, 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 and they get down to the one they want. That's the best mix, and they sell it. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wait a minute. That could even indicate that single barrel could be inferior. Suppose they pick a barrel that's not as good. You know, let's suppose they do. But you paid $100, so you're gonna love it, right? You gotta love it because you paid $100 or 60. I'm reading the entire $3.5 trillion bill. It guarantees that 50% of all corn is turned into ethanol. Oh, those, I was reading, I said that, what they call it, the happy gang of Bolsheviks. I like being at the bottom of the barrel. Okay. So let's get off of our Bolshevik Marxist-Leninist government in DC right now. Our government. Well, I said that wrong. I'm sorry. That government. Sorry. I'm sorry. I make mistakes too. Yeah, it's fine. Same old story. Corn, sweet corn, rock candy, vanilla, wood, charred oak, stronger. Must be 93 proof. Must be the Blantons. Is it the most wonderful thing? I never thought Blanton's was the most wonderful thing. I thought it was nice. But like I said in a video when I wasn't being careful, I said, it tastes to me like a fancy Buffalo Trace. And, oh, some people didn't like that. People said, you crazy? Buffalo Trace is $20 a bottle, fool. This is $60 a bottle. Well, yeah, I'm aware of that, actually. Well, let's think about this one. It's got quite a bit of vanilla. Clearly, it has charred oak. And more char than you may believe. Body seems a little light. The power seems not as strong. How about the flavors? Because really, when you're paying $60 versus $9, it's about all about the flavor, right? Okay, let's talk about the flavor. You say, well, now here's a man who wants to get down to it. You want to get down to it, do you? I do. Very nice flavor. Pleasant. Enjoyable. Copacetic. All of those terms. It's fine. It's fine. I like it. Just think, if I enjoyed bourbon, I'd really like it. Now, let's go over here. It's it's obviously a lighter. It's more watery, but you say, yeah, but is the flavor inferior? Wouldn't say that. Now you're saying, wait a minute. Time out. Time out. I'm watching this video. I'm taking time out of my day to watch a stinking rotten video production. And you over here doing a $60 bottle of Blanton's, which some people got to pay $100 for, against a universally disparaged and disregarded $9 bottle. I paid $8.99, a penny less, bottle of cheap Kentucky straight sour mash bourbon whiskey. You're going to sit on a camera with a mic in an office with comic books and talk about how the flavors are similarly enjoyable. That's what you're trying to say to me. That is pretty much what I'm trying to say to you. But but George McKenna doesn't have a horsey with a jockey. All right. But Henry McKenna does not have a real cork. It has a twist cap, plastic. Henry McKenna doesn't have a handwritten batch number, a handwritten label. You don't have to get on a waiting list for Henry McKenna. The store is not going to personally call you for Henry McKenna. If you buy Henry McKenna, you will not be special. And that's something to consider. What are you going to do? Have people come over to a dinner party and brag about, yeah, this is my bottle of Henry McKenna. You know you're not going to do that. Wrong. You're going to have your Blantons very strategically placed on the bar or the mantle so that everyone will see it. And they'll say, whoa, that's Blanton single barrel. Where did you get it? And then you can say, oh, yeah, that's right. It's up there. Because you put it up there 2 hours before the people arrive. But anyway, and then, of course, that's the lead in, and you can tell the story about how you got it. And then everybody else can say, wow, I can't believe that. I wish I could get it. So there's all these things you have to think about. This must be the day drinker. This must be the day drinker. It's not the day drinkers club. It's a sipper. It's a tasters club. You woke me up here, Ron. I'm going to do bourbon prepping first. Good. Ghost, Caspa. What are we drinking? Just join in. Oh, tea. We're drinking Blanton's. Well, we're tasting. I'm not really drinking. Blanton's versus Henry McKenna. How much is your comic book collection worth if that's not too personal? Well, the way I see it, it's not worth anything. Now, people will claim, oh, it's worth so much money because you got the first appearance of Wolverine. You've got this. You've got that. I can't believe it. I'm so impressed. I say, okay. Well, who says it's worth money? You say, well, all the people trying to sell comic books, like the people online that have comic book shops, people at the comic book collectors club that sell stuff. They assure me it's worth money because they said if they sell it to me, it's worth money. Oh, so the people trying to sell it say it's worth money. Okay. Some old flimsy paper, newspaper print magazines from the last 50 years are worth a lot of money. Okay. Guess how many people have called me up in the last 45 years offering to pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars for these comic books? No, guess how many people have called me up in the last 45 years offering to pay me any money for these comic books, like $10? I'm pretty sure you'll guess correctly. Yeah, sure, it's worth money. Well, I think that's the Blantons. Is it really $51 better? Ha ha ha. Oh, I'm not making a joke. Actually, Louisiana is the headquarters for Blanton's Sazerac Company on the corner of Canal Street Magazine in New Orleans. Of course, I'm gonna love Blanton's. Of course, I'm gonna brag about it. What do you think? I'm gonna root for the home team. It really means a lot to me. What I pay $51 more for? Are you crazy? No, I mean, hey, buy what you want. If you want to pay $9 or if you want to pay $60, it's your money. Buy it. Spend it as you will. I was offered $60,000 for my record collection. I'm good. I think I'll take the $60,000. All right. Anyway, here we go. No. Okay. Somebody snuck into my house and tricked me. Okay. I know people do that. I know that happens. That's a thing. I used to watch the NBC, what you call it, with Macmillan and wife in Colombo and the third one. Okay, I know, I get that. I watch Kolchak, the Night Stalker. All right. I waited all summer in 1974 for the debut of Land of the Lost. Don't tell me what's going on. But somebody clearly snuck into my house. I don't know why they would do that, and they replaced Henry McKenna with a much more expensive whiskey, because it's the only explanation why I keep getting these things wrong. Because no way a $9 bottle of Kentucky Straight Bourbon Sour Mash whiskey is going to even have a chance to compete with 30, 40, 50, and slap me down, a $60 bottle. And it's a game. You say, no, it's worse than that. Nobody snuck into your home. It's a dirty little secret. A lot of people are getting ripped off. I didn't say that. Okay. Please do not come on my channel and say these things. Reevaluate your stance on life. I know, I mean, I'm shocked, stunned, dismayed. Taste buds do change over time. Oh, that's a good excuse. Oh, yeah, I got it wrong because my taste buds have changed over time. Good one. I'm so glad I didn't pay for this Blanton's. I'm so glad it was given to me. I'm so glad the Woodford Reserve was given to me, because there's one little problem with these blind taste tests. And I think we know what the problem is. These cheap products have this very bad habit of scoring far above their weight. You know what I mean? They outperform these expensive products. And I know that's wrong. I know it cannot be so. You say, well, you did it blind. You had tags underneath the glasses. You weren't cheating. You weren't looking. I know. That's the frightening thing. You, the viewer, might be saying, maybe they're really just overpriced. Maybe everybody's getting ripped off. Maybe it is a big hoodwink. Do you really think a liquor company would hoodwink the audience by selling something that maybe only is worth $20 for $60, $70, or $80? Do you believe a company would do such a thing? You know, think about that. Ask yourself that question. You say, well, I know of a company that takes pork shreds and presses it together chemically and industrially in the shape of pork ribs and sells it with raw white onions on a Kaiser bun. And the people go running here, there, everywhere, front, back, right to left, and left to right to go get it for a limited time only. Yeah, well, we're not talking about that. Well, I wish I had words. I got a lot of thinking to do now. Will I discontinue this channel? Probably it should be done. Probably there is no hope. The future is destroyed. Where do I go? Who do I turn to? You know, I mean, this is like, it's so aggravating, but I got to go cut the grass, so I don't really care. But anyway, $60 bottle of Blanton's, this bourbon whiskey, and they go on, and it's got a matte finish, and it's handwritten with a marker, a mark-a-lot, or as some people say, a mark-a-lot. Hey, man, you got a mark-a-lot. Somebody told me that yesterday. I went by Walmart. I said, Walmart? I told him, I said, Walmart? Or is it Walmart? With a T, you know, because K and T aren't the same word. He seemed to not understand. But anyway, look how much I got left. One taste challenge left. Haha, too bad for you, Blanton. You got a horsey, but ride, Sally, ride. And look at you, Henry McKenna, you little snickerdoodle, showing up, winning all these taste challenges. That's not right. You little you. Well, Henry McKenna is a very irritating product because it is not supposed to win ever, and it keeps winning. And I'm very irritated by that. It makes me ill, makes me sick, makes me aggravated, makes me happy because I only pay $8.99 and I didn't even pay for the Blantons. Order Woodford Reserve. Thank you. But I don't know, man. I just get the feeling like you ever feel as though you've been cheated? Do you ever feel as though you've been cheated? All right. So Saturday morning is another fiasco, obviously. So get ready for Saturday morning. It'll be Henry McKenna versus another bourbon, and it'll be sure to be a catastrophic failure. Thanks for watching this video production. Oh, no, 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 no. Buy a cheaper bourbon and see if it can beat Henry McKenna, if you can find one, says Wayne. Wayne, thank you for those beers. They came today. Wow, fabulous. Actually, there is no such thing as a cheaper bourbon than Henry McKenna. Like, that's literally, there is no cheaper bourbon. You feeling like you're all alone in this world, very alone. Alone, betrayed, oh, so very, very betrayed. I'm moving to Jonestown. I'm moving to Guyana. It's all over. It's all over. Mother, 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 mother.